Hi there, it's Tiffany from Daisy Farm Crafts. In today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to do my 9 square griddle stitch gingham blanket. So if you can kind of get a sense, try to show you the whole blanket here. I'll teach you how to do this griddle stitch border when you're finished and show you how to carry yarn through the blanket to get this plaid look. It's really, really cute. So today we'll be using, what I used was Peyton's Canadiana, and you want to try and find 2 shades of color. So this is pale teal and this is medium teal. That makes your gingham look really good if you can find 2 shades of the same color. Then of course I'll be adding in a white. All the details about specific yarn amounts and everything are on our website. And if you're only seeing this on YouTube, the link is down in the descriptions, and that'll take you straight to the pattern, the free pattern that's on our website. So let's get started. Now I've made a lot of gingham blankets, and my most important tip that I want to tell you is to really work this practice swatch with me and if you have never made one, or use this technique of carrying yarn along. So what I'm going to show for you today, though, is we're going to start here on the bottom right-hand corner, and we will just work this first set of stitches plus the 8. And I think that'll give you a good idea. We'll probably just work this much together, and then I'll show you the border. So you'll want to start with 33 chains. Each little section is 4 stitches, and then the wider spaces are 8 stitches. So griddle stitch is alternating single crochet and double crochet. So we will start in the second chain from the hook with a single crochet, and then in the next stitch work a double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2 more. Now let's do that again. A single, and then work a double. However, after you pull through the first 2 loops, stop here because we are going to add in a new color. So this is the medium, the lighter teal color of the 2 shades, which will be used throughout the entire blanket. Just pull that through. Now here's the trick. You're going to want to keep the yarn that's not in use laying against the chain as we work over it. So let's go back to our single crochet, and then work our double crochet. Work a single crochet, and then a double crochet. Now same thing, this is our 4th one, so let's only pull through 2. Stop right there. Make the decision to leave this lighter teal color to the back of our work. Then pull through with the white. And sometimes, if you really want to make sure it's laying flat against the row, give it a little tug before you pull through. Now we'll carry this lighter teal color along the row with us. So in the next stitch, work single crochet, and then double crochet. And I promise you this first row is the trickiest just because you really don't have anything to hang on to here. I worked a single, and now I'm doing a double, only pulling through the first 2 loops and stopping right there. So I'm giving the lighter teal color a little tug, but first I'm going to make sure I'm bringing the white to the front of the work. This will help to keep the yarn from twisting on itself. All right, here we go. We always are starting with a single, then a double, a single, and then just work through the first 2 loops. Let's keep our yarn to the back, pull up and pull through with the white. Let's do another series of 4 worked in the white. Pulling the white forward first before I pull through with the teal. Working 4 more in teal, single, double, single, double. Now these last 8 chains will be worked all in white. Continue to carry the teal with you. Okay, the last stitch of the row should be a double crochet. And you can see that I've brought the teal with me, and there's just little bits that are poking through. You still can see the yarn being carried just a bit. Go ahead and chain 1 and then turn your work, and then wrap this around the back of your work. We're going to still continue to work over it and carry it along. So again, the pattern is single and double. However, since a double was your last stitch of the round, that single will be worked into the top of a double. Now I'm making sure that I'm putting the teal across the top of my hook, and then I will work the stitch. Okay, so it's securely around the side and back up underneath my stitches. Now I'll work a double into that single crochet right there. Single, double. Single, double. Here we go. We're almost to the yarn change right here. I worked just through the first 2 loops of the double. I'm going to leave the white to the front, pick up the teal, pull through 2. Now I'll begin working with a single crochet into the top of that double crochet. There we go. All right, I will be working this for 4 rows. These 2 colors for 4 rows. So why don't you go ahead, work to the end, and I'll meet you back after 4 rows. All right, how did you do? Here we go. I've got 4 rows completed, and now what we need to do is leave the white behind. You do not need to cut it unless you want to and weave it in later. We're going to carry the yarn up the side, so you can just leave that, set that aside, And now we will pull through. So I've got 2 loops left on my hook, and I'll be pulling through with the lighter teal color. Now I'll still chain 1 and turn, and then I will work the first 4 stitches, and then we'll introduce the darker teal color. So I'll start with a single, then a double, a single, and a double. And again, as always, I work through the first 2 stitches only. Now I think I'll decide to leave the lighter color to the front this time and introduce the darker by just laying it over the hook and pulling through, just like that. I'll leave the extra tail to the side there, and then bring the lighter teal along with me and work my single crochet. Okay, so I'm going to leave this darker color towards the back, then give this a tug. Sometimes I don't want that to be showing through my work or popping through. It will show just a little bit, but you know, I don't want it to be puckering out or anything. Now we're working this lighter teal color over the white and the darker color over the lighter teal color. Pulling that forward before I pull through will help you from keep the yarn from twisting. Okay, now you're going to work these color changes for 4 more rows. Then I'll show you how to carry the darker color up the side. So we'll be carrying the white and the darker color if you want. It's optional. If you'd prefer to cut and weave in the ends later, you are welcome to do that. Well, now we're at the end of 4 more rows, so it's time to switch back to the white and the lighter color. So it's time to switch back to this. So I've just pulled through. I've got 2 remaining loops. I'm going to leave the darker color behind now. Kind of get that out of my way. Come back to the white, and I'll just simply pull it up the side and start working with it. Chain 1, turn my work. I'll make sure that the lighter color is coming along with me. So I've got that before I work this first stitch. Make sure my tension is pretty good, that it's not pulling, you know, this too tight or too loose. You just want it to lay against the side of the row, and then we'll work the single crochet. Always start every round with a single crochet, end every round with a double crochet. It's alternating single and double. And then you'll start to realize too, hey, I'm always changing colors on a double. I think I'll leave the white to the front. It doesn't matter which one, just keep consistent on that of which one goes to the front and which one goes to the back. That'll help you a ton from your yarn twisting. I think I've said that, but it's very important. It's a game changer. So I'll keep this one to the back. All right, I've got 4 more rows of this color combination. And then it goes back to the light alternating with the dark. So at the end of this row, it's time to switch back to the lighter teal color. But if you want to use and carry this color up the side, the darker, what you're going to have to do is, of course, pull through with the lighter color. Go ahead, chain one and turn, and bring that darker color up anyway, up the side, and start crocheting over it so that it's ready for you when you need it over here. So I'm starting my first single crochet by working over the darker teal color that has come up the side. So I am just leaving the white behind. I'll leave that behind, but that's how. Now, of course, again, this is completely optional. If you don't want to do that and you want to just clip it, you can weave the end in later. So then I'm going back to my alternating. And now the darker color is ready for me to use and pull through and use for the next stitch. Okay, the next step is for me to show you how to work a griddle stitch border. All right, now we'll just pretend that this is the last section of your blanket at the top. So all you'll need to do is still just pull through with the lighter teal color and chain one and turn and work the griddle stitch across the row without changing colors. We're just going to work this color around the entire edge of the blanket. And of course, if you don't want this color, then just pull up a loop in the corner of whichever color you want. So I'm working the griddle stitch, I'm working singles into the tops of doubles and doubles into the tops of singles. And I will work this all the way down to the corner. I've worked the last stitch, which is a double crochet. So now we're going to work ourselves around the corner, and I'll continue in that same stitch with, and always keep the pattern going of single, double, single. So there was double, single, now we'll work a double right into the corner. Now, in order for you to get just the right amount of stitches, you'll need to work 5 stitches per the side of the 4 rows. So the color changes will help you do that. So this first one already counts as 1. So we need to find 4 more spaces, do the best you can, and always continue the sequence. So I left off with a double. So I'll work a single. Here's 1. A double, a single, and a double. Okay, so here we go. We want to work 5 stitches per the side of 4 rows. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. So do your best. It's not exactly clear where you enter your hook. It's just a good idea to just make sure there's 5 there per color change. And this is the only row that it's tricky. All right, now we're to the corner, and I will work the 5th one for this color right down here into the bottom of that starting chain, and then work around the corner, continuing the griddle stitch sequencing. Okay, I'm going to work underneath the bottom of the chain there and continue across, getting each one. I'll work the same thing over here in the other corner too. Now, once I've finally worked right back to that starting corner, I just look ahead. I started with a single, I've ended with a single, so I'm just going to work one double right here in the middle. And that kind of makes up the 3 stitches of my corner. So I'll slip stitch to the very first single crochet. I'll chain 1 and turn. And now into this very first corner stitch, I will work the 3 stitches that I need. So let's see, which one should I decide to do? So I will work into the double because that's the middle one. And I'll work single, double, and single. And then I'm ready to go into the next stitch. Now, you may notice that I have some ends hanging out here that I'm kind of ignoring. You, of course, probably should want to weave those in, and let me give you a quick tutorial of how to do that. You know, because you'll have your big blanket and you'll want to finish first before working the border, getting those ends woven in. Probably should have done that earlier. But anyway, you know, you just work the tails in and out to disguise them. Get them to thread through any amount of stitches. Get these ones out of my way. Okay. Now you'll just alternate the griddle stitch. When you get to the center one, continue the alternating pattern and just work the 3 stitches that are needed into the middle of each of these corners, and then come back, join with a slip stitch. You won't have to worry about a corner because you'll chain and turn and then work around. So basically that's it. I did 5 rounds of the griddle stitch as the border. And let me show you the main blanket again. And, you know, on every middle one, just continue the pattern, keep alternating single and double, and it will work out as you go. Now, the full graph is on our website that you'll want to know and follow along, plus all the pattern written out so that you can get the pattern repeat and make whatever size you want. So come find the link down in the descriptions if you're seeing this on YouTube. Otherwise, you're on our website. Thank you for coming by. Have a good day.